hair play head massage by ASMR massage. I first begin by just taking the brush and removing some of the tangles from her hair. Just gently running the brush down her hair to also help provide a nice, relaxing feeling. Just going once all over her hair, then parting it down the center, placing half the hair on her right in front of her shoulders, the other half in front of her left shoulder. And then just to help relieve some of that stress as she's inquired of through the day, I just take my thumbs and press them into her back and into her shoulders. I just kind of spread that tension away from the center of her body, using my full hand, going from the neck and spreading it out to the shoulders. I do the same thing, but just with my thumbs. Focus at the center of the neck, and I drag my thumb out towards her shoulders. I slowly move up her neck, using that same sliding motion with my thumbs, with nice, firm pressure. And just using one hand, gently squeeze her neck and kind of walk up that muscle along her neck with my fingers. Drag it down. Using my other hand to stabilize her head. Then I go back to her shoulders and upper back. And kind of like a little centipede, I crawl up and down her shoulders and along her back with my fingers. Then I do the same thing with my thumbs. I just allow my fingers to do a few jumps on her shoulders and back, jumping across the shoulders and down the back with my fingertips. I use my hands and my arms, drag it down her shoulders to her back, firm at first and then getting gentler and gentler, to where it's just my fingernails. Then I start working my way up her neck, slightly touching her hair and fully grabbing her hair with my fingers and working my fingers into her hair. And once again, taking the brush, brushing out her hair, getting the underside, base of her head, using the brush to give it a nice tug. Letting the brush graze her back and her neck before it actually reaches the hair. Then I just take some extra time and run the brush through her hair, just starting at the top of her head, running it down her neck, all the way to the tip of her hair, ending the middle of her back. Smoothing it out with my other hand as I go. I go back and forth just a few times. I then just take the brush and capture a few hairs and let the hairs drop from the brush as I pull the hair away from the head, creating a waterfall with her hair. And before I start using my fingers, I take the brush and I run it down her back. Letting those fine points touch her very gently. I set the brush down and Just let my fingers glide through her hair. Take small sections. Or just start to build a braid, a very loose braid. I let my fingers undo it. I make a braid once more, this time with a bit more detail, but still very loose, and just throwing one piece of hair over the other with one hand and capturing it with the other. Working my way all the way from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom. Admiring it for a second and then slowly letting it unweaves itself with the help of my fingers. Once again taking the brush and running it through her hair. Making sure to touch the base of her head that she likes so much. And then before setting the brush back down, I go ahead and run it through her hair a few more times, just to connect the head to her neck to her back once again. Making sure that the tips of the brush stay connected to all three of those sections. Then set the brush back down and take small sections of her hair and just kind of create little ringlets with my fingers, wrapping them around, then letting the hair fall back into place. Just working all over the head. And taking larger sections, using the same motion, wrapping the hair around my fingers, and letting it fall back into place. Once again, connecting the hair in the back of the neck all together by touching them simultaneously with my fingers. Drag them from the shoulders and the back to the neck, to the middle of the head, and all the way up to the top of the head. Touching the back again, coming down from the top to the middle, to the bottom of the hair. Once again, going back to my brush, taking the time to brush the hair out once again before I drag my fingers through it. Just providing some raking motion with my fingers through her hair. Once again, touching her scalp and her neck and her back while I'm dragging my fingers through her hair. And then I just use my entire hand to smooth out her hair. Then finally touching her shoulders, her neck, and her back one last time. Letting my hands slip through her hair, lightly releasing my touch. Until I have to say goodbye.